What's up guys, and welcome to Hardy's Hobbies, the channel where we discuss the latest tech news and delve into the newest tech products. Today, we are taking a look at why the GTX 1180 is basically just a Titan XP for just $700. But before we jump into that, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you guys would like to stay updated with the latest tech news related to gaming and the PCs. So, what happened and why is there so much hype about the insane performance of the next generation GPU? Well, recently there was a crazy leak that revealed insane specs for the GTX 1180. Now, before we continue, these are just leaks and there are rumors as well, so just make sure to keep that in mind. So, what exactly is so great about the GTX 1180 and what is this rumor suggesting? Well, first of all, the new GTX 1180 is going to go on to the 12nm process instead of the 16nm process that we have right now. However, the die size is actually increasing from 314mm squared on the GTX 1080 to 400mm squared on this new GTX 1180. But this die size increase is more than justified. For example, this new GPU is supposed to have 3,584 CUDA cores of performance. Now, to put that in perspective, the GTX 1080 had 2,560 and the Titan XP has 3,840. So as you guys can see, this new GTX 1180 is really close to the Titan XP in terms of CUDA cores. But that's not where the similarities end. The GTX 1080 has 8.7 teraflops of performance, and the Titan XP has 12 teraflops of performance. However, this new GTX 1180 is supposed to have 13 teraflops of performance. So as we can see, the GTX 1180 is actually pulling ahead of the Titan XP in this area. Memory speed is also going up. The GTX 1080 had 10 gigabit per second memory. The Titan XP has 11.4 gigabit per second memory, while the new GTX 1180 is supposed to have 16 gigabit per second memory. However, what's odd is that the memory bandwidth is actually taking a hit for the GTX 1180. So the GTX 1080 has a memory bandwidth of 320 gigabytes per second, while the Titan XP has 547.7 gigabytes per second. The new GTX 1180 is supposed to have 512 gigabytes per second. So it's nothing to laugh at, but it's not as high as the Titan XP, but still really good. On top of this, the GTX 1180 is supposed to have GDDR6 memory, which is supposed to be exponentially better than the GDDR5X memory that the GTX 1080 and Titan XP currently use. As a result, we should be seeing a huge performance upgrade in that area as well. The final icing on the cake is that this new GTX 1180 is only supposed to consume 170 to 200 watts as opposed to the 250 watt TDP of the Titan XP. Overall, as you guys can see from these specs, the GTX 1180 looks very promising and should at least match, if not exceed, the performance of the Titan XP. So, next up, how much is this going to cost? Well, if you guys have been following me for a while, you would know that I've told you guys that this is probably going to be more expensive than what the GTX 1080 came out for because of the inflated RAM prices and the current cryptocurrency mining situation that we have. However, this leak is actually suggesting that the GTX 1180 is going to be coming out at an MSRP of $700, which is the same MSRP that the GTX 1080 released for. So as you guys can see, that's really good value if this actually comes true. The MSRP of the Titan XP is $1,200, and if you want to pick one up right now, it would easily cost you over $1,500 due to the horrible GPU situation right now. So if this all works out, then you're actually getting a Titan XP for less than half the price that you would be able to get it right now. So this is really great news. So this all looks really promising and all, but when exactly is this new GPU supposed to come out? Well, we were expecting that Nvidia may say something at GTC, but unfortunately they didn't even drop any hints. However, at GTC, Gamer Nexus was actually able to discover that SK Hynix was planning their mass production of GDDR6 memory in just 3 months. So if you guys didn't know, SK Hynix is the memory producer for NVIDIA graphics cards. So as a result, if they are starting mass production of GDDR6 memory, that probably indicates that the next series of GPUs is coming very soon. So Gamers Nexus found this information at the end of March. So according to what SK Hynix is suggesting, they should probably start their mass production of GDDR6 memory at the end of June or at the beginning of July. So as a result, we could probably expect these new GPUs like the GTX 1180 and 1170 near the end of July or the beginning of August. This is actually what an article on Tom's Hardware suggested a few months ago, and this new leak also suggests that. So most likely, the next series of GPUs are probably coming out mid to late summer. And then lower tier cards like the 1160 and maybe 1150 would come out later this year, and some other variants like the 1150 Ti and 1180 Ti would probably come out next year. So what does this exactly mean in real world performance though? So if we assume that the GTX 1180 is really similar to the Titan XP, then we would know that this new GPU would be able to handle most, if not all, current games at 4K at least 60 frames per second. It should probably actually be able to handle it at 70 or above, but at least 60 for all games at max settings. On top of this graphics card should crush triple monitor 1080p gaming and also QHD ultra wide gaming. So if you guys are interested in any of those types of gaming styles, then this may be a great GPU for you guys. Overall, even in the real world, this GPU should provide insane performance, so it's definitely worth waiting for if you guys have the money to buy it. So, who all should exactly wait for this new GPU? Well, first of all, you need to have the money to buy it. So, if you have the money to buy it, should you wait or not? In my opinion, you should definitely wait if you don't really need an upgrade right now. If you're like, a new upgrade would be nice right now, like going to 1080 Ti or 1080, but you don't really need it, then I definitely recommend that you guys just stick it out and wait for the 1180 because it's just so much better. Also, GPU prices are really inflated right now anyways. They are coming down, but they're still above MSRP, so it doesn't really make that much sense to buy a GPU right now anyways. So that's for the enthusiast users. So what about the mid-level users, like the 1060 and 1070 and 1050? Well, if you guys were considering any of those cards and don't need an upgrade, then I still recommend that you guys wait for it. I know for some of those cards like the 1160 and 1150, it may be quite a wait until the end of this year, but it definitely will be worth the wait, I think. So we don't really know how those are going to perform, but if we assume that NVIDIA gives us past generational gaps, then it should be great. NVIDIA definitely has the technology to provide us with that, so it would make sense. For example, last generation, the 1060 and the 980 were quite comparable. As a result, this generation, we may see that the 1160 and 1080 are comparable. And on top of that, the 1160 should implement GDDR6 memory and should hopefully be offered for a much better price than what the 1060 is being offered for right now. So I really recommend that all of you guys consider waiting if you can. Now, if you're like, some more performance would be great, but I don't really care about it and I would be satisfied with what I can get right now, then of course you should just go ahead and buy it. But just make sure to consider the option of waiting before you make any rash decisions. So, what do you guys think about the GTX 1180? Do you think that's overkill and you're not gonna buy it? Or are you like, can this run an SLI? Make sure to post down in the comments below what you guys think about this. I do read all my comments and I'm curious as to what you guys think, so make sure to post your thoughts. Also, if you guys like this video, then make sure to drop a like, it really does help. And make sure to subscribe to the channel if you guys would like to see more videos just like this one. But until next time, bye.